विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांता स्वामिनिति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, और प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vacharam Pangum Langhayate Devim Yatkripālamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2. Contents of the Gita summarized, shloka number 2. Kutastvakashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajushtam asvargam akirtikaram Arjuna. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets, but to infamy. So, I think I discussed the translation to some extent in the last class. I will just elaborate a little bit more. Impurity in heart. What is impurity in heart? Not that some impure blood is there in the heart. Impurity of heart means undesirable thoughts, Our mind has three functions: thinking, feeling, and willing. Undesirable thoughts, thoughts of lust, anger, greed, envy, madness, illusion, these are impurities of heart. Scripturally, it is called as anartha, bad, which leads to bad behavior, bad attitude. These are impurities of heart. Attachment to, or I would say, selfish behavior. So Krishna is saying, how come Arjuna you are behaving so selfishly? How come so much impurities have come into your heart? How Arjuna is behaving selfishly? Because he is thinking about his own family members. He's not thinking about the whole kingdom, all the citizens. So his behavior is selfish. So Krishna is saying, how come such impurities have come in your heart? Those who know value of life, they do not behave in this manner. What is value of human life? Value of human life is that with this human life you can attain the perfection. You can attain the topmost destination of Lord's abode. If you are behaving in a selfish manner in this human life for the attachment of things of this world, then you will remain in this world. Human life is meant for going to the topmost planet kingdom of God. And if you are attaching yourself to worldly things of this world, then you will remain in this world. That means you don't understand the value of human life. For example, you have a car. Car is meant for traveling from one place to another place, covering long distance. And you take that car and connect the plow in your car behind and take it into the farming field. That means you don't understand the value of car. You are not using the car properly, isn't it? So similarly, you don't understand the value of human life. You are simply increasing your attachment to worldly things of this world. You don't understand the value of human life. Human life is meant for going to the topmost planet kingdom of God. Why are you behaving like this? It doesn't befit a man who knows the value of life. And further, Krishna is saying they lead not to higher planet but to infamy. Human life is meant to go to higher planets. But if you are behaving like this, your prestige will go down. You are a member of Kshatriya family. You are descendant of such great kings who have ruled the planet Earth. And you being their descendant is going to behave in such a selfish manner, thinking about your own family members, it will bring lot of inglory to you. So Krishna is saying it will not bring you higher planet but to infamy. So you should not behave like this. So we have to understand in our heart also, when we behave in our life because of some impurity in our heart, whenever we are behaving as per scriptural injunctions, that means our behavior is pure. If we are behaving, considering or valuing our own selfish thoughts, that means our behavior is impure. There are three modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. Most of the time, behavior in passion, ignorance is very much impure. And even behavior in goodness is also not very pure. It is also impure. Arjuna's behavior appears to be of some kind of goodness because he is saying that better I go to forest and they rule the kingdom. I do not want to kill them. Appears lot of goodness, but it also has a lot of selfishness involved. So it is some passionate like that. So it is also impure. Pure behavior means devotion to Krishna. That is the only pure behavior. Brahmanas near near what is Akrur Ghat in on the bank of Yamuna in Mathura. They were performing yajna to please Lord Vishnu, and Krishna sent his boyfriends to get some food from them. So these cowherd boys, they went to these brahmanas to beg some food for Krishna. And these brahmanas did not pay any attention to the friends. And they were simply absorbed in sacrifices, performing yajna. Appears pure behavior that they are busy in performing sacrifice, chanting mantra, offering pure ingredients in the fire. But they are not paying attention to the coward boys who were sent by Lord Himself. So, from that perspective, their behavior was impure. You understand? So, similarly, Arjuna's behavior is impure. So, that is why Krishna is saying, how come these impurities have come in your heart? Read purport.
Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. Therefore, Lord Krishna is referred to as Bhagwan throughout the Gita.
Wait. So, this is the first time Shri Bhagwan word is used in this verse. So Srila Prabhupada is elaborating on this word Bhagwan, and he will establish that Krishna is Bhagwan, Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, just like if I say fruits, so many varieties of fruits. If I say flower, so many varieties of flowers. If I say bird, so many varieties of birds. But if I say Supreme Personality of Godhead, only one person, Krishna. That's all. No second person, third person, no. Only Krishna. Or if I say Krishna, means Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any other person. Okay, like that. So Krishna and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are identical. And thus he is called as Bhagavan. So Bhagavan means the one who is possessor of all the opulences. There are 6 opulences: wealth, fame, beauty, knowledge, strength, and renunciation. And Krishna is possessing all these 6 opulence in full for all the time. People of this world may not be having all opulences, may not be having full whatever they may be having, and may not keep for all the time, for some time. But Krishna is possessing all the opulence for all the time, in full. That is why he is called as Bhagavan. So Bhagwan word refers to Krishna only. And Bhagwan word also refers to devotee who carries Krishna in their heart. Okay. So Hare Krishna. Read further.
Bhagwan is the ultimate in the absolute truth.
Wait, Bhagwan is ultimate in the absolute truth. So, truth, we understand what is truth. Something which is correct. But something which is correct today may not be correct tomorrow. For example, this fruit is good, maybe the correct statement. But keep that fruit for 10 days, then statement is not applicable to that fruit because that fruit becomes spoiled now. So this statement is correct with respect to certain time. It is not an absolute truth. Absolute truth is that truth which doesn't change as per time, place, and situation. That is absolute truth. So I am soul. This is absolute truth. It doesn't change as per time, place, and situation. I may be in human body or any other body. I am still the soul. I am human being. This is not an absolute truth. Okay. So you understand now what is absolute truth. This doesn't change as per time, place, and situation. Among all the absolute truth, Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead is ultimate absolute truth. Why it is called as ultimate absolute truth? Because all the other absolute truths are depending upon this ultimate absolute truth. You understand? Just like the whole tree is depending upon the root. As long as the root is healthy, the tree is healthy. So, like that. All the other absolute truths are depending upon this ultimate absolute truth that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why Krishna as Bhagwan is the ultimate absolute truth. Read further.
The absolute truth is realized in the three phases of understanding, namely Brahman or the impersonal, all pervasive spirits, Paramatma or the localized aspect of the Supreme within the heart of all living entities, and Bhagwan or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna.
Wait. So Bhagwan is the ultimate absolute truth. And one can have the experience of this Bhagwan in so many levels. But here, from the perspective of the yogis who, or from the perspective of the spiritualists who try to understand the absolute truth, from their perspective, three levels are described here. See, someone, for example, someone is a very good artist, very unique, very good artist. So even by seeing his art, one can feel, one can experience that how Lord is so great that through this person he is creating such unique, very much uh, new arts which are not drawn by anyone else. So, so Lord can be observed from so many observations. You see some beautiful flower, and you can experience Lord in that. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita so many ways in which Lord can be observed. But spiritualists, when they are trying to understand and realize the Supreme Lord, there are three different levels in which these spiritualists are reaching. So those three levels are described here. Those three levels are Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So what is Brahman? What is Paramatma? What is Bhagwan? So there is some spiritual effulgence comes out of Lord's body, pervading everywhere in the whole spiritual world, just like light comes out from sun. So that spiritual effulgence is divine in nature. It is not material in nature. Sunlight is material in nature. Spiritual effulgence which comes from Lord body is spiritual in nature. What is the difference? Sunlight, when you experience sunlight, what you experience, you may experience some kind of and some kind of uh, I don't have words. I would say some kind of light you experience and some heat you experience. When you come under sun rays, you experience light and heat. You don't have any other experience. But when you come under the shelter of Brahman or effulgence coming out from Lord's body, then you experience eternity. You can experience that I am ever existing. If you are able to reach to Brahman, then you will experience that I am ever existent. I am indestructible. You will experience that. That is Brahman. Then another level of experiencing God is Paramatma. What is Paramatma? Lord, He expands Himself in every heart, in every atom. Why He expands Himself? Just to give company to the living entity. In every heart He expands. And why He expands in every atom? Just to sustain the functionality within that atom. So, Lord is personally expanding Himself as super soul, as Paramatma in every atom and in every heart. That is super soul, second level of realizing God. Okay. And to make you understand, Paramatma exists only in material world. Paramatma, role of Paramatma is not needed in spiritual world. Okay. If effulgence, spiritual effulgence, Brahman, it exists only in spiritual world. Paramatma exists in material world. And the third level of understanding God is Bhagavan. He exists in his supreme abode, performing loving pastimes with his devotees. That is Bhagavan. Okay. So Bhagavan exists in supreme abode and Paramatma exists in material world and Brahman exists in the spiritual world everywhere, pervading. So just like sun god, sun planet, and sunlight. Sunlight is pervaded everywhere in the material world. And there exists sun planet from where the sunlight is coming. And there exists sun god inside the planet. So, sun god is a person. Sun planet is just some kind of shape and form, and sunlight is formless. So, like that, Brahman is formless without any personality. Paramatma is having personality, but he is localized within the heart or atom. He doesn't reciprocate that much like a person. He is just observant. Paramatma has, what are the functions of Paramatma? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Updrashta Anumanta, observant and permitter and guide, Chaitya Guru. These are the three functions of Paramatma. He doesn't do any loving relationship. But Supreme Lord Bhagwan, he has loving relationship. He is a person. So just like sunlight, sun planet, and sun god, like that Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. Okay. So in this way, we have to understand the three levels of understanding God. So it is our good fortune that Srila Prabhupada has given these teachings to us in such a clear manner that we understand this aspect of God realization on three levels. Most of the spiritualists who have not understood or who have not got the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, they are confused in this also. Many think that the goal of life is to attain Brahman. They think that absolute truth is Brahman only. Some think that the goal of life is to realize Paramatma within the heart. Only by Srila Prabhupada's grace we are very easily understanding that the absolute truth is Bhagavan who reciprocates with his devotees, and we should also offer loving service to him and return to his abode. Very few spiritualists understand it. And by Srila Prabhupada's grace, we are able to understand it. So, in this way, we have to understand the three levels of realizing God. Just like someone, he in the village, for the first time, train is coming. Villagers have never seen what is the train. So, train is scheduled to come at 8 o'clock in the night. And it's a village, barren village where hardly any facilities there, hardly any electricity is there, and the railway station is having not much facility. So all the villagers, they're curious to see the train, and they come to railway station and they see some light is coming from long distance. So they think that train means light. So they are correct, but not fully correct. So that is like people saying, spiritually saying, absolute truth is Brahman. Just like someone says train means light, means it's like that, absolute truth is Brahman. This is not a correct understanding. Then some people, some villagers, they stay for some more time on the railway station to check out what is this light coming, let's see. So they wait and they find some long structure is there, which is moving on the track. So they start understanding that train means some long structure which moves on the track. And then they go away. Their understanding is also not complete. It is like saying God is Paramatma, that's all. Some villages, they still stay back and they understand later that the train stops and people They come out from the train. Some people are reading in the train, some people are sleeping in the train. They understand that lot of activities take place inside the train, lot of personal activities take place inside the train. So this third level, third category of villagers, they have good understanding about the train. So like that, those spiritualists who understand God as the person who reciprocates lovingly with his devotees have the full understanding about God. Okay. So by Srila Prabhupada's grace, we have got that full understanding. And we should develop loving relationship with that God. Okay. By practicing the process of bhakti as taught by Srila Prabhupada. Read further.
This conception of the absolute truth is explained thus.
वदन्ति तत्तत्त्वविदस्तत्त्वं यज्ज्ञानम् अद्वयं ब्रह्मेति परमात्मेति भगवान इति शब्दते. Read.
The absolute truth is realized in three phases of understanding by the knower of the absolute truth, and all of them are identical. Such phrases of the absolute truth are expressed as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
So this is simply the translation of the verse which we read from Bhagavatam. So, so Vyasdev, or I would say Shukdev Goswami, is teaching to Parikshit Maharaj that Supreme Lord is realized in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Read further.
These three divine aspects can be explained by the example of the sun.
Yeah, I have already explained to you. Brahman, Paramatma. Everything is elaborated by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Please read.
One who studies the sunshine only is one who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter and the student who has advanced still further can know that the sun is